Okay. Mahdi, can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me try that again. Okay, Mahdi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
There you go. You remember that from last week?
Mm-hmm.
I know I said no shaking heads, but we're gonna step up that a little bit too to say yes or yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Anything I should know about? Anything exciting happened today?
Mm, I learned how to do archery.
Archery? Like this kind of archery?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Okay. What do you aim at? Trees and stuff like that? Or an actual target?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you hit?
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
The bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The
And,
bullseye.
and
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. Also, I have a question.
Sure.
How recent am I supposed to do what you said last week, homework? What did I do for my mom and dad? What did I do for myself? And how many should I put on there?
Oh, I would put at
Because we
least I would put at least three for
that's what I
each.
was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Well, see, me and you, we're right here. We're right here. All right. Did you get a chance to do that?
Yeah, but how recent do I do it? How many times? Do I have to do it every day or?
I got you. Yeah. I would start out doing it every day. And then once you see that you have like a lot of stuff piling up,
Hmm.
then you can reduce it a little bit to maybe one a day for each. But like
Okay.
let's say this is where are we now? Wednesday. Okay, so I would do Thursday, Friday.
Hmm.
Okay. And then I'd skip the weekend and let you just have your fun over the weekend, do your work, do your chores, and then start back again on Monday.
Hmm.
So tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, you should have three for each.
Thursday and Friday, three for each.
Yes.
Next week or
No, starting this week. This is only
okay.
this is only Wednesday, so start tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Um, so let's begin by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. Wait. Somebody told me it, but I don't remember.
Okay.
It was some other instructor.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's fine. Different people are going to give you different ways to say it. But basically, it means that we're beginning with the name of Allah. We do everything important beginning with Allah's name. Okay.
Hmm.
So if we're going to even do our homework, like you're going to do, before you actually start writing those ideas down, you should say to yourself, at least say Bismillah. Say that.
Bismillah.
Yeah. Even if you don't say the whole thing, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, at least say Bismillah. So we're beginning now. So I'm going to let you also say Bismillah.
Bismillah.
All right. So that means that we're beginning by seeking Allah's permission to do what it is we're going to do. What is permission? What is that all about? What does that mean?
It's something that it's like if you were to say this is somebody's stuff and you wanted to like touch it or do something with it, you gotta ask them
That's right.
or get mad.
That's
You
right.
need
That's right.
it's an answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're giving permission, right? They're supposed to
Hmm.
ask you, Mahdi, can I use your pen or can I draw on your drawing pad or something? And if Mahdi says, no, I don't really want you doing that, they don't have your permission, right?
Hmm.
All right. So since it belongs to you, And since they did not get your permission, or they might not have even asked you at all and just went ahead and used it without you knowing about it until you came home and you saw there was some pages torn out of your drawing book, right? Or your favorite crayons were missing, right? That's not right because they didn't get your what?
Permission.
That's right. So when we begin with Allah's permission, that's what Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim means. Bismillah means with Allah's name. So if somebody lets you use their name, that's their signature, right? Like your teacher, when you get your homework, I know they used to do it with me. I don't know if they still do it, but my mother had to sign my homework when I took, not the homework, pardon me, my report card. When I took my report card home, that's the way the teacher knew that my mother saw my report card, right? Because my mother had to put her what?
Signature.
That's right. That means she signed off on it. And if she has any questions about anything that I got as a grade, now she can talk directly to the teacher, right? All right, it's the same thing with Allah. Allah gives us permission to do a whole lot of things. Can we breathe if Allah doesn't give us permission?
No.
Why not?
Because Allah does not want us to. He didn't.
If he didn't want us to, then we couldn't because he owns the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, he created the air. Yeah. So of course we couldn't breathe. We couldn't, our blood couldn't flow. We couldn't see through these two eyes. All of these things that we're doing is because we have permission from Allah to do them. Make sense? Tell me something else that we have permission from Allah to do. Just regular things.
Walk.
Yeah.
Run, jump.
What about when you sweat? Is Allah giving you permission to do that? Why do you think he lets you sweat?
Because you have to.
Why? What if I'm running around on the basketball court or something, or playing football in the football field or something, and it's like 85, 90 degrees outside, and then I start sweating? You're telling me that Allah is the one who's letting me sweat? Why is he letting me sweat? Why would he do that? Why would he create me like that?
You would overheat.
That's right. And it's cooling you down. That's exactly correct. All right. So everything that Allah allows us to do is because it's going to be of benefit. It's going to serve us in some good way that Allah let us do it. The things that Allah asks us not to do, those things are called haram. Can you say that?
Haram.
Yeah, the haram. You've heard of the haram things, I'm sure, right? Well, when Allah says that something is haram, that means that it is not permissible. That means he did not put his signatures, like that friend of yours who just took your toy or who just took your crayons without your permission. So he was doing something, or she was doing something haram because they didn't have your permission. When we do things that are haram, as far as Allah is concerned, we're doing things that we don't have permission to do from Allah. You got it? So even if you have permission to do something from your friends might say, let's go beat up Billy. You know, we do that at lunchtime. Let's go beat up Billy, you know. Everybody says, yeah, let's go beat up Billy, right? All right. So the friend is giving you permission, but do you think Allah is going to give you permission to do that and be pleased with your behavior? Heck no. My mother didn't let me say heck. She called that a bad word when I'm not going to use it with you either. All right. I'll just say, no, she wouldn't do that. All right. All right. So we're going to get into today's lesson, which should be interesting. We're going to pick up where we left off. What two letters did we discuss last week?
Alif, ba.
All right. Can you break those down to me before I show it to you on the screen? Tell me what you remember they mean.
strong house.
Which one? You tell me which letter you're describing.
Aleph, strong, ba, house.
All right. And when you put them together, what is it?
Strong.
Strong house. And who did we say that referred to?
My dad.
Yeah. Say it again. We lost the sound on that.
Abu.
Abu. That's right. Aleph, ba, right? Abu.
Mm-hmm.
Abu. Very good. And we're going to talk about why Aleph Mim means mother. That's what we're going to talk about today also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through quite a few of these. I want you to situate yourself so that you're not fidgety. You know what fidgety means?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what does fidgety mean?
Playing with random stuff.
Well, just kind of like nervous energy, right? Because see, when you look back at the video, I want you to see your face right in the middle of the camera. Like right now, I can't see your chin anymore because you sat back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you so that you're like right in the middle of the screen. Can you do that? Yeah. And I want it so that you might be just a little bit higher than you are now in the chair. Yeah. Can you do that with the camera or the, yeah.
Does it go higher?
Yeah. If you can go a little higher.
I don't think so.
Okay. But I think if you just stay like right where you are right now, stay there. Now just move to the middle a little, move more to the middle. More. Right there. Can you stay right there? Can you do that? Is that comfortable enough for you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not going to be fidgety?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Aleph Ba is dad or father. Can you think of one more English word for father? I gave you two just now. Father, dad. What else do people call their father?
Papa?
Yeah. Like my children call me Pops. So Papa, Pops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got three English words for father. And all of them can refer to that one Arabic word called what?
Abu.
There you go. Very good. All right. So we're going to move from that into talking also about mother, but we're going to do just a quick review of what we were just talking about. Now, what you're seeing on your screen is the entire Arabic alphabet. These are all of the 28 letters in the Arabic alphabet, but we're going to add one. And you'll see what that is at the end. What I want you to do right now is just pronounce these letters after me, even if you've never heard them, never seen them, never pronounced them, never read them. I'm going to pretend that you're not familiar with anything you're looking at right now. So when I say the letter, I want you to say the letter right after me, and I want you to say it the way you hear me saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aleph.
Alif.
Ba.
Ba.
Ta.
Ta.
Tha.
Ta.
Jim.
Jim.
Ha.
Ha.
Kha.
Ha.
I'll try that one again. Ha.
Ha.
Yeah, like you got something stuck in the back of you ever have something stuck in the back of your throat and you're trying to get it out? That's what I want. All right. Dal.
Dal.
Zal.
Zal.
Ra.
Ra.
Za.
Za.
Sin.
Sin.
Sheen.
Shin.
Sod.
Sod.
Dod.
Dog.
Cow.
Cow.
You ever watch any Bruce Lee movies? You know who Bruce Lee is? What does he do?
Fights.
What kind of fighting?
Karate.
Yeah, karate, martial arts, kung fu, and he speaks Chinese or spoke Chinese, right? And when he would hit somebody, he would go, "What the?" Now that's Chinese, but it's the exact same sound as this Arabic letter you just pronounced. Tao. Say it.
Tao.
Yeah. All right. Thou.
Thou.
Now this one has to come from the back of the throat. Here we go. Ein.
Ein.
Now this next one has to come from the back of the throat as though something is stopping you from saying ein, and that's rein.
Rein.
Oh man, that's perfect. Fa.
Fa.
Cough.
Cough.
You ever coughed before? You ever have a bad cough? Well, that's exactly how you should pronounce this, because it's taking something from the back and it's they call it expelling or pushing something towards the front. So it begins in the back with oh, oh, oh. Say that to yourself.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah. And then what you want to do is take what's back there and bring it up so that it can come out of the mouth. Fa. See? From the back, oh,
Oh.
to the front. Fa.
Fa.
Cough.
Cough.
And that's exactly what you do when you cough. You take something, some mucus or something that was maybe stuck back there or whatever, and you expel it. You bring it out, you push it forward. So that's cough. The next one sounds like cough, but it's calf.
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 Okay, I can't see your mouth anymore. I need to be able to see your mouth so I know how you're pronouncing it. So fix your camera again, or how you're sitting so I can see your whole head. I have to be able to see your entire head, and you have to be able to stay there. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so we did calf. Say it again.
Calf.
Very good. Now this one is lamb.
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 You ever hear the nursery rhyme that says Mary had a little lamb? You ever hear that? You have? They're still teaching that in school?
I mean, maybe. I don't.
Well, but you've heard it, right? Because it's popular. Mary had a little lamb, right? You know how the rest of that goes?
Oh, what did you say?
Do you know how the rest of that rhyme goes? Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a little lamb. It was something like, was it woven or something? I don't remember.
You're close, because it was dealing with the lamb's wool.
Yeah, I thought so.
Right? So Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. The fleece is the wool. Okay? All right. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. So the lamb kept following Mary, right? Do you remember where the lamb ended up?
No.
It followed her to school one day. It was against the rule. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. That's the whole thing. So the lamb, Mary's lamb, followed her to school. That means that lamb will probably have something to do with learning once we learn the meaning of this letter lamb. So remember that, okay? Remember that point. All right, say it one more time. Lamb.
Lamb.
And remember, This letter is also in the word Allah, right? It's also in the phrase La ilaha illallah. There are a bunch of lambs in there that we're going to learn about next week. Can you say that? La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah.
There you go. Can you hear how many times your tongue is saying la, 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 lam, lam, lam? Let me see if you can count them. Say it slow. Say la ilaha.
2.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
Illallah.
Oh, 3.
Ah, now you're saying 3, but in some of those places, lamb is doubled. So that means you have to double it. We're not going to do that today because I want you to be looking at it when you do that, okay? But there's a bunch of lambs in there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next letter. Meme.
Meme.
Good. Noon.
Noon.
Great. If I said to you in English, can you let me know when noon time arrives? What would I be asking you?
What time is it?
But what time is noon time? What time of day is that?
12. The middle of the day?
Yeah, that's what people would say. Where would the sun be at noon time?
In the middle of the sky.
Beautiful. You're a smart young man. Right smack dab in the middle. That's noon.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime after that is called afternoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it's noon, that's the brightest time of the day. So do you see this letter noon here?
Mm-hmm.
You see that little dot on top? So just imagine that being the sun that's right above everything else at noon time. That's how you remember that letter, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This letter is ha.
Ha.
Right. Now, we already pronounced another letter called ha, but it's this ha here, but this is heavy. This is ha. Say that.
Ha.
Now say this one again. Ha, just regular.
Ha.
Okay, I'm going to point to it, then I want you to pronounce it. Here we go. How do you pronounce this one?
Ha.
And how do you pronounce this one?
Ha.
Very good. Now, do you notice that when you pronounce both of those letters, it has to do with breath coming out of your mouth? All right? Okay. So if you're pronouncing this heavy ha, and that's what we'll call it from now on, the heavy ha. So when I say Mahdi, I want you to pronounce the heavy ha. Which one? How are you going to pronounce this?
Ha.
Very good. Did you know that your name has this heavy ha in it?
Mahdi.
There you go. You just pronounced it correctly. Some people would just go Mahdi, right? It's not that they're wrong. It's just that it's not the exact correct pronunciation. So then you'll have to say, excuse me, I just want to make sure that you pronounce my name correctly. And what would you tell them it is?
Mahdi.
Yeah, because Mahdi is full of life. That's what that ha means, full of life. Okay, always ready for something new. Whereas this ha is just normal breath, just like you're breathing right now, but I can't hear you, right? You can't hear you. They're not breathing through your nose. But when you breathe through your mouth, everybody can hear you. Breathe through your nose, nobody can hear you. Maybe you can hear you if you're paying attention, right? But when you're breathing through your mouth, it's because you've done something to really set off your emergency system. Like you just came from running, you know, a 3 mile run or something. And now you're sitting on the bench and you're like, can you do that with me? Just pretend that you just got finished running like 3 blocks straight without stopping. Let me hear that breath. Good. Now let me hear your normal breathing through your nose. Okay. That's the difference. The one through your nose is your regular breathing, and the one through your mouth, you have to even open your mouth to say it. That's your heavy breathing. You're either really excited about something, or there's an emergency somewhere and you're being scared. See, your mouth still has to open, or you have to run away from a bad person. And when you get away, you, right? And then that breath will eventually calm down to become that ha again. You see how that goes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's complete this. Wow.
Wow.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So I'm going to say these one more time, and I'm not going to interrupt myself this time. We're going to say all of these back to back. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alif.
Aleph.
Ba.
Ba.
Ta.
Ha.
Tha.
Ba.
Jim.
Jim.
Ha.
Ha.
Kha.
Kha.
Dal.
Dal.
Dhal.
Dal.
Ra.
Ra.
Za.
Za.
Sin.
Din.
Shin.
Shin.
Sod.
God.
Dod.
Dod.
Tau.
How.
Thou.
Thou.
Ein.
Ein.
Rein.
Rein.
Fa.
Fa.
Off.
Ka.
Calf.
Calf.
Lamb.
Lamb.
Meme.
Meme.
Noon.
Noon.
Ha.
Ha.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to give you a round of applause for that. That was beautiful right there. All right. You ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you tired?
No.
You're tired of learning already? Half an hour in. Or you ready to go?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's move forward then. Here we go.
Also,
Yes, I'm listening.
when you ask me to take notes about stuff, are we gonna use them later in the lesson?
Yeah, we're going to use your notes. And that's the reason why we're doing it a little bit differently, because what you can do, are your notes on a computer?
No.
They're handwritten?
Mm.
Okay. So can you type them on a computer? Are you good with a computer like that?
I'm not on a computer, but I'm on my iPad, but I can type.
Yeah. So if you can type your notes when you do your homework and then email them to me, have your mom email them to me, and then I can put your notes up the next time or every time that we have a class. We can go over your homework on the screen, just like I'm doing here.
Can you send the next Zoom meeting to me because I'm not on my mom's computer
I
anymore.
sure can. And all I need for you to do is make sure that I get your email address.
Okay.
Okay. That's great. That's fine. I'd rather do that. That's your responsibility. So that's good. So make sure that when we hang up from today, just remember, make a note in your head to send Instructor Bilal your email address. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. All right, let's move on. There's one sound in the Arabic letter system that a lot of people who teach Arabic, they don't discuss this sound. And it's called a Hamza. Can you say that?
Hamza.
That's right. And I'm going to show you how to pronounce this Hamza. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
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 You got it. I don't know if your mother used to do this to you, but my mother used to do this to me all the time when I was younger than you. And I was getting ready to do something that I didn't have any business doing, like take an extra cookie out the, cookie jar.
Mm-hmm.
And she would go, ah, 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 right? She'd say, ah, that means stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That means no, you don't have permission to do that. So if somebody's saying something, you're like, ah, okay. Well, believe it or not, that's what Hamza does also in the Arabic language. It's called a glottal stop. And once you become better at recognizing the letters, and I'm going to show you how to put the letters together to make words, and then you're going to know how to pronounce those words based on the pronunciations of these letters that I'm teaching you now. Then when you see a word that ends with a Hamza, you'll know to automatically cut that sound, like qara'a, sama'. There are words that cut, and what the word means is also a way of telling you that something is being cut off. Something is being there's different words, but I don't want to use any big words like curtailed and all of that kind of stuff. All right. But you'll learn that in the future. That's just there so that you'll know. And really, what Hamza is, it really is supposed to fit on top of the Aleph so that you know to pronounce Aleph as though you were saying Hamza, meaning the sound. So Aleph would be ah. See, ah, like Hamza is ah. Aleph is ah. Say both of those. Say Hamza.
Hamza.
Ah.
Ah.
Aleph.
Aleph.
Ah.
Ah.
So the more we pronounce those, the better you'll get at it. Don't worry about it now. Don't try to remember all of it at one time. Now let's get to this juicy part here. So we spoke last week about Aleph representing strength, something strong, representing a leader, because it's the leading letter in the alphabet. It's the first letter, Aleph. That means it's in the lead. And it is also the main support. Because of its strength, it's being depended on to hold things up, to be the main support. Okay. Now, I don't think we discussed how all of these letters that you just saw are also parts of your body. They are parts of your body. And we're going to go through all of that in the next few weeks. So when you see that part, when you see that letter, you'll be able to immediately say, yeah, instructor, I know what part of the body that is. Yeah, instructor, I know what part of the body that is. Yeah, instructor, because all of these letters are on your physical body. And that means that the first dictionary that you're going to go to in order to know what words in the Quran mean, that dictionary is your own body. So even if you don't have a dictionary, your body becomes the dictionary. And your body will tell you what that letter means and why that letter means that and why that word that Allah is choosing means that, because every single one of these 28, and you might as well say 29 glyphs or letters or pictures represent first something that you can find as a part of your own body. That's how merciful Allah is. He didn't leave it so that if you don't have a professor or you didn't make it to college or you didn't go to school at all because you had to work in the field, whatever. Allah has made it so that even if you didn't have a teacher, even if your mother wasn't around, you could still learn because all you have to do is really learn what these parts of your body are and what they do. And you can learn that in your own head, just thinking about your hand. So what is my hand doing? See, what are these things? Can you tell me?
Fingers,
Okay. What are these things attached to my fingers?
nails.
Okay. What's the difference between this side of my hand and this side of my hand?
This is the palm. This is, I don't know what's the name of it, but
The back side, you can say the back side of my hand,
the back side of my hand.
right? What are these little lines and stuff going across my hand? You ever think about that?
Yeah.
What are those? What do they do? Everything does something. So what do those lines do?
Are they ligaments?
No, those are not ligaments. That's a deeper question. So I'm not going to bother you with that right now. But I will say that one of these letters you just pronounced means palm of the hand. And it's in that last line on the bottom. Can you tell me, huh?
Mean.
Meme? That's a good guess. But I want you to look more carefully. All right, I'm going to tell you. You ready?
Well, I have one more guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it ha?
Which one?
Ha.
Ha? That's also a good guess, but I won't tell you why that's a good guess right now, but it's still not the one that directly means the palm of the hand. That means you're looking for something in the middle of the letter, right? The palm of the hand. So which one would it be?
Wow.
That's another good guess. And what you said, wow? Well, no. I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you credit for that one. I don't think wow looks anything like the palm of your hand. But I know why you said it because you're looking at you got a different view than I have of what these things might mean. I'm going to tell you just for time's sake. It is the letter calf. You see how something is put right there in the middle of calf?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's supposed to be the palm of your hand. Now, I know it doesn't look like the palm of your hand, so that's why I gave you all those chances. But the people who put this language together, that looked like the palm of the hand to them. So they made calf the palm of the hand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So any word that we learn in the future that has calf as the first letter, especially, is going to have something to do with the palm of your hand or your hands and what your hands do. They pull, they can push, they can take things and hold them, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so anything that captures, you hear this sound, even in English, capture.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it in contain, to contain something, right? When you sit on your couch is containing you, like a container of milk contains milk. Anytime you hear cat in any language, not just in Arabic, not just in English, is going to have something to do with some possibility related to your hand. All right. That's for the future. You don't have to memorize all of this right now. This is just so that it'll be in the recording and you'll keep thinking about it every time you look at it. All right, let's move forward so we can get to mom and dad, or dad and mom. We went through dad last week, but that aleph is the spine. That's the important thing to remember tonight, that as a part of your body, aleph, this letter right here, the straight up and down one, is the spine. Now, this is your actual spine. Doesn't it look a little bit like that? Yeah, with the little brain on top, right? Like this. And then the little curvy body for the spine. Same thing here. You got to curve that a little bit to make an aleph. Okay. So whatever this spine does is going to be what the aleph is doing, but it's going to be doing it for that word. So I might have mentioned last week that the word for faith, when we say we have faith in Allah, is called amana. Say that. Amana.
Amana.
Say it again.
Amana.
Right. And amana means he had faith. But it begins with aleph. See, aleph, amana. Yeah. So that means that whatever faith is, now this is how Allah teaches us. Whatever faith is, because it begins with aleph, whatever that word means, whatever faith is supposed to be, it has to act just like the spine acts. And the spine is holding you upright. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? If you didn't have a spine, you couldn't stand up. If you didn't have a spine, you couldn't even continue to live. If you break your spine, or you severely damage the spine, a bad injury to your spine, you can't live like that, because the spine is controlling so many things in the body that once the spine collapses or becomes overly damaged, there's nothing else you can do. You understand that? Okay, I need to see your whole face. I'm seeing your left ear. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to start winding down now. I've given you a lot already, so we're going to start winding down. So what is aleph in your body?
Spine.
And what does the spine do?
Spine controls a lot of parts of your body.
Okay. And as a backbone, what is the spine doing for your body?
It is like holding you up, or else you would not be able to stand.
Perfect.
It's
Perfect.
It's like a stick in your body.
Yeah, it's the main, they call it a pillar. Like if you were building a building, you have to build supporting pillars, or else the weight of the building is going to collapse. So it's the same thing. If you didn't have a spine, or your spine became damaged, it's like knocking the pillars out of a building. The building is going to collapse. Make sense? That's how important that aleph is in a word, because everywhere it's used, it means support. And that's why it's in the word for father. Aleph, ba. But it's also in the word for guess who?
Mom?
Yeah. And we'll see that in just a minute. So it means strength, it means strong, it means leader, and it means the main support. Now, the thing I didn't tell you last week is that the letter ba, the B sound, is really the word bait. Can you say that?
Bait.
Yeah. B-A-Y-T, bait.
Bait.
Do you know what that means in Arabic?
House.
That is right. You winning all kinds of points tonight, Mahdi. You winning a lot of points with me tonight. All right. It means house. So if aleph means strong and bait means house, what does that mean when you put them both together?
Strong house.
Yeah. Or we can say the strong one in the house, or we can say the strength of the house. And usually that's referring to the father. Okay. And I think I mentioned last week, if somebody came knocking on the door, bum, 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 you don't send your mother to the door. If the father's home, the father goes to the door. So who's that banging on my door like that this time of night? Because he's the strong one in the house. We mentioned that last week also. All right. So Aleph Bait is the strong one in the house. Now let's go down to what Mom means. So Bait, we said, means that which fills up, empties, then refills. Remember that from last week? Okay, read that. If you don't remember that, you'll have to go back and look at that. We might not have said bait. I don't think I introduced the bait to you last week. I don't remember.
You said bait, but you never said that which fills up, empties, then refills the house.
Got you. Okay, very good. That's what bait means. That's how it came to mean house. Because somebody builds a new house, a family moves in, right? And then people might even get married in the house, and people might even have children that they bring back to the house when they get, after they get married. And then the people who get married say, oh man, it's getting a bit crowded in here now. We need our own place, right? And then some of the family moves out. And then the older people in the house, right? They might say, well, I don't need this big old house for myself anymore. We're going to move into a senior citizen place. So, you know, and then the house becomes empty. And then guess what happens?
Refills.
They put a sign out front for sale, or some other relatives come from somewhere else. That's usually what happens, right? You know, your cousins and your auntie or whoever else might need to live with you or in the house. And it fills up again because those people are going to have babies and the same thing, family. Then it's going to empty. And then what's going to happen again?
Refill.
There you go. Bait. But bait can also mean the belly. Because this guy here, he fills up his belly with food, a little bit too much if you ask me. He fills up his belly with food, and then he has to get rid of that. He can do it through exercise, you know, going through the bathroom, and, you know, eliminating or whatever. And then when he gets hungry again, he refills the belly. So his belly is doing what bait is doing in the house. Make sense? So tell me again what his belly does.
It fills up, empties, then refills.
You should be the teacher because you keep things short. It's impossible for me to explain something in a short sentence like that, but you did it. That means one day you're going to be the instructor. How about that? You didn't think about that, did you?
No.
That one day you can be the instructor because you're learning quick. That's good. So this is the way the letter bait looks in Arabic. Okay. That's the way it looks in Arabic. Okay. And you know that every house has to have a foundation, meaning something underneath it that's supporting it. So whenever you look at that little dot, just think about the foundation of the house. Okay. All right. So that's Aleph and Bait. Ab or Abu, leader of the house. Aleph, Bait. Aleph means leader. Bait means house. Ab means leader of the house. Read that to me.
Leader of the house.
Read the whole line.
Ab, leader of the house, father.
Very good. Now read the next line under it.
Strong water, mother.
You're skipping some. I want you to read from all the way on the left.
Aleph, meme.
Oh, you left something out. Look at it again. Take your time.
Aleph plus meme.
There you go.
Strong water, mother.
Read it one more time.
Aleph plus meme equal
Like you say, ummi, my mother.
Strong water, mother.
Excellent. Now I'm going to do this kind of quick because we're running low on time. So listen very carefully. I need to see your whole handsome face. There you go. So that's Aleph. We already know that. This is what meme looks like. See that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what meme looks like. Not in every case, but in most cases, when it's separate from other letters in a word. Now let's look at something really, really special. Meme means water.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means. Say it. Meme means water.
Meme means water.
So do you see how this can actually be a drop of water, or water that's a drop of water that's about to fall, say from the clouds or from wherever, or from the faucet or whatever. But this little piece right here
Is
represents,
the cloud?
Yeah, could be the cloud. Yep, sure can. It can be the faucet. Like I said, water drips out the faucet. Okay. But the whole point is that no matter what it's shaped like, the meaning for meme is water. The meaning for meme is water. So that's water. But what's this sticky stuff over here on the left?
Glue.
Glue. So if is a combination of Aleph, and what does Aleph mean?
Strong.
And it's connected to meme, which means what?
Water.
I'm proud of you hanging in there, man, because it's rough. I know it's the end of the day. So when you put those two meanings together, what would the sentence be?
Strong.
The phrase? Strong water. Strong water or strong liquid, because water is liquid. So strong liquid is glue. And people several thousands of years ago, 4,000, 6,000 years ago, the people who invented the word for mother and gave it the Aleph and the meme as a sentence, strong water, they were saying something about the mother being like glue.
Keeping the family together?
Man, you were just too good, man. You don't really even need me, do you? I'm just wasting your time. You're going to be the best NuNetics, I should say junior NuNetics learner. I can't say that I've ever had, because I've never had a junior learner. You're the first one, so you're making history already. But I'm telling you, I am so proud of your answers. I'm going to go to sleep tonight with a big old Kool-Aid smile on my face because of your answers. So yes, the mother does what again?
Keeps the family together.
How?
She feeds them. Not, I mean, she's like, I don't know how to say it. It's like,
Take your time. Think about your mom and what she does for you, what she has done for you.
she's fed me.
Mm-hmm.
She's giving me a place to sleep.
Beautiful.
She's clothed me.
Yeah.
She's gave birth to me.
Oh boy. That's a good one.
She's
And after she gave birth to you, I'm sure you know by now from studying other people who have children and have babies, that as soon as the baby is born, it's your mother who takes you in her arms, right?
mm-hmm.
And she keeps you close. She keeps you glued to her, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to think about the things that your mother did and still does that keeps you bonded like glue together. See, because the mother is the one who keeps the family close, like stuck together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she's doing. For instance, let's say you argue with your brother or your sister or whatever, or you see somebody else's brother and sister arguing. You ever see the mother say to them, you better stop arguing in this house like that. You are brothers and sisters. You're not supposed to be wanting to fight each other. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be in people's houses like that where the brother and sister, they really want to go to fighting. They're talking about going outside, taking their jacket off and all crazy stuff. I'm like, whoa, this never happened with my family. I've seen people's families leave their apartment. I grew up in New York. Leave the apartment to go outside in front of the building and fight each other with fists. That's crazy. And then when the mother got home, she gave them the whipping of their lives. She said, we are not supposed to be out here fighting each other. If somebody's bothering your sister or you're bothering your brother, some street guy or some bully or something, then you're supposed to go to your brother's rescue. You're supposed to help him. You're not supposed to be out here fighting each other. We're a family. We're supposed to be glued together. You see how mother does?
Mm-hmm.
Now, dad can do that too now, but mother is usually the one to do it because mother is usually the one that's closest to home and sees and witnesses all of these things. So she's usually the one to go, enough is enough. Y'all better stop that arguing. Y'all better make up with each other. You sleep in the same room. What's wrong with you? Two brothers just sleep in the same room. So you have to stay glued together. So that's what mother does. Now I'm going to show you in this conclusion how the word became the word for strong glue. Back in the days, several thousand years ago, people did not live in those big old houses like the picture that we had earlier. There were no houses like that where most people lived. Some people lived, as you know, the Arabs, they lived in the desert. So,
Huts.
Yeah, huts. And what's another word for the places they lived in, made of cloth?
TPs.
Well, that's the Native Americans and the so-called Indians and those people. They lived in teepees. But in the desert, they would have like camel skin, right? Or other kinds of skin that they would sew together to make what? What do you call those things? They look a little like teepees in their shape. Begins with the letter T. Native Americans used to live in them also.
Uh,
Four letters. Yeah, you're getting there.
Tap.
I give you the second letter, T-E. Te.
Oh, tent.
Yeah. Right. So they used to live in tents, right?
I thought you were still talking about something else.
No, I'm talking about their house. That was their house. The tent. Maybe I'll pull up a picture next time. But that's their house. The ancient, I'm talking about the old ancient houses from thousands of years ago. Some people still live in tents, today in different parts of the world. But back then, when this word was being invented, people were living in tents. They weren't living in mansions and, all of that stuff wasn't nowhere to be found. They were living in tents that they themselves put together. So the reason why mother took on that meaning of strong glue is because the father was out hunting, and trying to bring something home to eat, right? So during the day, since he's out for most of the day hunting and defending the area, getting together with the other tribes, maybe having meetings about how they're going to do things and how they can catch more buffalo or whatever, more camels and more, get another horse. And, so he's out there doing all of that. Now, because they were living in parts of the world where it was very hot and dry, like a desert, for instance, then that weather would dry out the camel skin or whatever the tent was made of, right? And it would begin to tear, because it was sewn together. So anything that's sewn together eventually can be torn apart. So her job was to go to wherever there was a water, like a lake or a river or something like that. And she would take a big bowl, a clay bowl or whatever, and she would take the water that was, there was a, like a, they call it a residue. I don't know if you heard that word, a residue, right? And it would float on top of the water. Okay. She used to take that and put it in her bowl, and she would take it home, and then she would put that bowl over a fire so that it could get heated up. So she's heating up the residue from the water. Now remember, meme already means water, right? When she heated up that residue, then it became like glue. It became very sticky, like glue. And then she would use that sticky glue stuff. What would she do with that sticky glue stuff?
She would stick together the house.
That's right. So that the house wouldn't fall apart.
The family.
I don't know what else to say about you, man. But that's how mother got her name, from being the strong glue that patched up the physical tent when it was falling apart. But more important than that, she was the strong glue that kept the family from falling apart. Now, can you give me that, what I just told you, in your own words about mother?
She is the residue, the sticky glue that keeps the family together so it does not fall apart.
And where did she learn how to do that? What was going on in her environment that gave her that signal that, man, yeah, I'm the one that's supposed to keep this thing together?
Allah.
Oh, ultimately, of course. But remember now, she was also patching up the physical tent. So there's the physical tent that needed to be patched up and kept together. And then there is the family that needed to be patched up and kept together. Okay? So part of your homework essay, young man, is to give me one page on the importance of the family. Why is my family important? Think you can do that for me? One page. All right. Then you'll email that to me, and that'll be what we read at the beginning of the next class on Wednesday. Any questions about today before we close out?
You did not. You didn't do any. Are we gonna do something with the notes you asked for, or?
We are, but I want you to send them to me so that so that both of us can be looking at them.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't know you had them. So now that I know you have them, remember, your first job when you hang up is to email them to me.
Okay.
If there are any other questions that you have that you might remember that you didn't remember before we closed the Zoom, then you just email them to me. Anytime you want to say anything to me, you don't have to wait a whole week. You just email me, or you can call me. Your mom has my number. Okay.
Okay.
And remember, you're supposed to also email me your email address. I'll have it when you email me from your email address, then I'll have your email address and I'll send them straight to you.
Okay.
All right. Any final words?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, son. We appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing it very well. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Remember to email me what?
My homework.
Yep.
And the stuff I already have.
Yeah, that's right. and I'll have your email address when you do that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.